Good morning, Carla Hartley here. I am coming to you on Wednesday, September 2nd, 2020, and we are continuing our series on income available for support. However, before I get to the nuts and bolts on this, I'm going to talk about some of the basic tenets of the law. Why do I think we want to discuss the basic tenets? Because the two most common complaints on the issue of support, if it's just spousal support, if it's just child support, if it's child and spousal support, the most common complaints, if you were the spouse that is the high wage earner, it's, oh my God, there's no way I can afford that. How am I going to pay for this and this and this and this if I'm paying the other spouse that much? Common, and it's realistic and a practical concern. The other complaint we get is from the supported spouse. Oh my God, how can I possibly live on that? How am I going to, pay rent, find a place to live? And the answer to that is very often, well, both sides are entitled to live at the marital standard of living. Both sides have an obligation to contribute to the support of the children and to one's own support. So there are exceptions to that. If one spouse has not worked for an extended period of time, then the marital standard of living is deemed to be that spouse not working. So we have a lot of exceptions. We have a lot of permutations on this we could go through. But here's the basic tenet you need to get acquainted with. Under the law, according to the law in California, the highest obligation, the absolute highest obligation a spouse has, and I'm talking the higher wage earning spouse, is for the support of that party's children and for the support of their future ex, if they were in fact married. By highest obligation, I mean the court doesn't really care, for the most part, there are exceptions, if you are going to be unable to pay certain things that you had previously enjoyed. The boat, the RV, are not considered remotely as important as making sure your children and your future ex have food in their mouths, a roof over their heads, stuff like that. So while I understand those complaints, while they are practical, the court must look at this, and the law has imposed on the court a duty to look at the issue of support in such a way, at least in the very early stages of a case, to ensure that the status quo is met to the extent possible. Now, we've had a lot of changes in the law over the past decade, and these changes have clearly indicated that the courts have recognized that there's no longer one marital standard of living, which used to be just for the wife, right? Wife has to be kept at the lifestyle to which she's become accustomed. That doesn't apply anymore. The marital standard of living, the courts now recognize both parties, both spouses have a right to be as close to the marital standard of living as possible. Further, they recognize where that one or two incomes was simply supporting one household before, now it's going to support two, so nobody is going to be at the marital standard of living. This is a difficult early decision that the courts have to make, but they have to make it. And a good attorney is going to explain this to you, walk you through it, walk you through the exceptions, walk you through the different permutations, and try to do the best possible job for you. But it's a hard thing starting out. Nobody likes it, and it is a reality when you're moving forward into a breakup, whether it's breakup of a marriage or breakup of a relationship in which you have children. You're not going to like it. This is going to be something that neither party is going to be fond of. That's the reality of this part of the business. Now, recognizing these underlying principles enables us to move forward and start discussing next week what is income available for support, what is actually something likely to be an exception that the court would recognize. That's all I have. I'm hoping to have a video for you on Friday on something slightly different. We're going to deviate from the income available for support and discuss some of the stuff we've been seeing happening at the courthouse lately. Have a good day, and I will be talking to you later this week.